Coming up today on the Locked On Hornets podcast, we open up with Stangin or Clangin. We rummage through that bag, first time in a while. And then I'll give you some of my observations on the Miami Heat loss. That's all today, LOH.
You are Locked On Hornets, your daily Charlotte Hornets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
In a minute, cuz we live.
It's Locked On Hornets, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. Thanks for making us your first listen. We're free and available anywhere you get your podcasts. That includes YouTube as well. There's Doug Branson, everyhornetsboxscore.com. Also produces Yahoo Sports Daily with Jason Fitz and Caroline Fenton. I'm Walker Mehl. Listen to me, WFNZ, every weekday from 12 to 3 p.m. Sports Radio 92.7 FM. So before I tell you some of my observations from the Heat game, if you got to listen to the post-game show last night on WFNZ, you got to hear some of my notes, but I'll give you some of them a little bit later on in the show today as well. But we open up with Stangin or Clangin. First time in a while that we've done this here, Doug. Whew, buddy, it's a staple of the show. And again, I can't even remember the last time that we did this. It's the first version of Stangin or Clangin of the season. This is your baby. So why don't you go ahead and lead us off here, Doug?
Now, this is by request, by the way. We got one of the sickos in the Sicko Brigade saying, hey, you haven't done Stangin or Clangin in a while, and I want to know what's Stangin, what's great about the Charlotte Hornets, and what's Clangin, what's coming off the rim when it comes to the Charlotte Hornets. So, look, I always like to start the positive. I see you typing something in the rundown, and I'm just going to immediately steal it. My first Stangin is...
There it is. I entered it. There you go. Right there. Bang.
It's not that one, okay? It's Kon Knueppel, but it's not what you're going to say.
Gotcha.
It's Kon Knueppel's three-point shooting. He's got 16 made three-pointers, which means that he's going to hold the rookie record for the first 5 games. He could hit 0 three-pointers in the next game, and he's going to have the record.
That's crazy.
For rookie three-point shooting in NBA history. Yes, like everybody's taking more threes, so that's not shocking, but it's shocking that it's a Hornet. It's shocking that it's a Hornet draft pick doing that. I can't believe I can't believe the team nailed a top 5 draft pick. It's incredible.
Well, no, we should actually... We should have a Kon Knueppel segment if we weren't doing Stangin or Clangin by request from the people, because we give the people what they want on this show. One of the ideas that I was going to pitch was that we have a full segment on Kon Knueppel, and if we've adjusted the ceiling for Kon just through the first 4 games, because Rookie of the Year odds, they're ever changing. It was Cooper Flagg as a heavy favorite coming in. Now it's VJ Edgecombe as the favorite. I don't even know if he's the favorite yet. He certainly is close, and it's because he's just absolutely balling out of this world through the first few games of the season for VJ. Cool. But also, here's Kon's games, man. 11 points in his debut. That would be the least amount of points that he's scored so far. 14 in the next game.
Incredible.
20 in the third, 19 in the fourth. Oh, okay. You're telling me right out of the gate, he's going to be awesome and an immediate plus in the rotation alongside Sion and Kalkbrenner. Let's try to focus on this one, though. I'm talking to myself here. So with Kon hitting those threes, all of the threes, where he doesn't hit one in the next game, it'll still be a rookie record for most amount of threes in the first 5 games. I mean, that's fantastic. He's shooting 58% from 3. That's also fantastic. None of it seems to be unsustainable. As far as I can tell, I mean, how many wide open threes has he missed? I mean, he missed 1 in this game against Miami. I was shocked when it didn't go in. And every other shot that he hits, a lot of them are contested too. Like they're at least crashing in on him. He's been incredible. I'll just go ahead and finish up with one here as we continue the conversation. Kon's probing, like just going, not Cartman first episode of South Park style probe. We're talking about probing in the paint where, man, he just knows exactly where to go with the basketball. My favorite pass from Kon in this game against Miami, I think it was ball fake, drive, and then Colin cuts across his face, and all he does is it's this dribble. It's a handoff, but all he's doing is handing the ball off to Colin as he's cutting across him, and it's so smooth. And then Colin finishes with a bucket at the rim. There's the Ryan Kalkbrenner alley, which we knew he was great at throwing alleys to Kaman Malawach in that pick and roll. 2-man game. He's just so freaking good, man. This one feels right. Kon Knueppel, his shooting, his probing, all of it. Kon's been Stangin.
It was one of the points as well in my recap that I did last night, which was in a game in which the Miami Heat were constantly knocking the ball out of LaMelo's hands, out of Miles's hands. I mean, they were just a super handsy defense that the Hornets offense really sort of got a reality check on. Kon was the one consistent player who could get inside of that defense, keep his dribble long enough to find the kick to the corner or find the kick out to the wing. And so, yeah, super impressive there. And I'll say if we were to have Coach Lee on this show right now, I think he'd give a Stangin to Kon Knueppel for something else entirely, and that's his defense. This is a quote I'm getting from @Hornets Reddit on Twitter from his after practice availability, media availability.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that Lee gave. He said this about Kon Knueppel. I've been impressed with all aspects of his game right now. The thing that's really stood out come game night is his defense. I think that there's been some moments where he's been one of our best on-ball defenders. I went back to look at the film, and particularly of Andrew Wiggins, he was north of 20 points. I believe he had 21 or 22 points.
21.
And I knew that Kon was on him for some of that game, and I wanted to see if he was getting a majority of those on Kon or if he was getting them on other matchups. And I thought Kon's defense on Andrew Wiggins, who is a very skilled, talented offensive player that has a little bit, I think, length on Kon.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Kon did really well, just staying with him, staying connected, bothering him on a few shots. He did get a few on him, but honestly, a majority of his points were when he was getting switched on to other matchups. So, yeah, I mean, his communication, his ability to stay attached to the player that he's defending are going to counter whatever he's going to lose size-wise on the wing, athleticism-wise on the wing. He's going to get beat occasionally, but he makes up for it in so many other ways.
Well, yeah, and by the way, Andrew Wiggins showed some of that length on a block shot from Kon Knueppel, and there are some of those moments that you feel like Kon is eventually going to learn how to deal with as he gets further into his NBA career. It's 4 games, man. He missed a shot at the rim. Yeah, is it the best start for a rookie that we've had?
PJ, offensively, PJ came out of the game. I mean, I know it was the one game was incredible. You can look up the game log. I don't know if it's worth digging into.
Sure.
But that's just the one that pops out.
No, it is. It absolutely is. No, it's not wrong to bring up. It just feels so different. Maybe it's because it's been so long. My God, that was 2019 for PJ. Yeah, he went 27, which is just an explosion in your debut. 27, 10, 8, 11, 23 in the 5th. PJ's a good answer. Because LaMelo went for a goose egg, his opener. Then in the second game, I think he went for 14 or 15. So, yeah, you have to go back to LaMelo.
This did turn into a Kon appreciation segment. We wanted to do Stangin or Clangin. We did 3 straight Clangins. I'm sorry, we did 3 straight Stangins on Kon Knueppel. We probably should get to some Clangins.
We should. Let's do it in the next segment because it does tie in with some observations that I had in this Miami game. So coming up next on the Locked On Hornets podcast.
Bees everywhere!
We give you some clangs. Sorry, we're going to have to miss a few shots here in the next one to give you some of the negative to balance it out. But maybe we give you the sandwich method. Stangin, Clangin, then Stangin again. Observations, Sicko Satchel. It's a fun one. We'll be back in a moment.
Sandwiches.
This episode is brought to you by Quo. One of the tools that helps make a huge difference for business owners is Quo, formerly Open Phone. It's the same great business phone system you've heard me talk about before, just with a new name. And here's why it matters. Every missed call is money left on the table. When every customer conversation counts, you need a phone system that keeps you connected 24/7. Quo is the #1 business phone system that streamlines customer communications. It works right through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying 2 phones or relying on a landline. See why over 90,000 businesses trust Quo, formerly Open Phone. Get started free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/LockedOnNBA. That's quo.com/LockedOnNBA, QUO.com/LockedOnNBA. And if you got existing numbers with another service, Quo will port them over at no extra charge. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. This episode is also brought to you by Rippling. If you're a business owner, here's the truth. SaaS promised to make work easier, but now the average company is buried by hundreds of apps that slow down your teams and simply don't work together. That's not SaaS. That's sad. Software as a disservice. That's why you need Rippling. Rippling is the unified platform for global HR, payroll, IT, and finance, all in one place. They've helped millions of businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools with one system designed to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. Everything from onboarding to payroll to IT access runs automatically and perfectly in sync. It's seriously simple to use and gives companies one source of truth for their people, data, and everything they touch. Whether you want to run your entire HR, IT, and finance operations as one, or just fill the gaps in your software stack, Rippling can do it all. And right now, you can get 6 months free when you go to rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. Learn more at RIPPLING, rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. That's rippling.com/LockedOnNBA for 6 months free. More Locked On Hornets ahead. Clangin part. Observations in the Heat game. Yeah, you probably talked about this a little bit if you had some storylines to discuss. Man, it's not been going well for my boy Tre. Tre Mann, 3 of 15.
Woof.
All sorts of clanging in this one. Really did not get off to a good start. Taking bad shots on top of just missing even some of the good shots, the advised shots that he was letting it fly, Doug. There was the bad turnover at the end of the first half where he tries to save the ball out of bounds going behind the back. And he tries to leak it out to Kon, hit him in stride, so maybe Kon can make something happen on the other end of the court. But in reality, he misses Kon completely. I think he hits Andrew Wiggins in stride, right. So he tries to hit Kon in stride, going the other way. Instead, he hits Andrew Wiggins in stride, and of course, Wiggins finishes at the rim. End of the first half. Here's 2 freebies, please and thank you. Miami, go ahead and score the basketball. It's been rough for Tre. I actually didn't think he was terrible in the first game. I thought he was good. I saw some stuff that I liked from Tre Mann in the debut. It's been rough the few games following. He had the injury. Wasn't even for sure that he was going to suit up against Miami, but he did. Hornets PR tweeted out that he was going to be available, and it's just been rough. Tre's been clanging.
The only worse offensive player by points per shot attempt is Liam McNeely right now than Tre Mann at 70.6. Just for reference, Colin Sexton at 142.3, Kon Knueppel at 139, LaMelo at 120, Tre Mann at 70. And you talked about the Stangin of Kon's probing. I would say the Clangin is Tre's probing because it comes with so much dribbling, so much indecision that really gunks up offensive possessions. And that's not necessarily going to show up in the cleaning the glass numbers or in the box score. That's just something as you watch, you're like, man, this offensive possession is suddenly going nowhere because he's trying stuff with no sort of end game in mind and no ability to separate. And so, is this rust? Is it the back not responding the way it used to? Even if, because I just have to wonder, like, with this injury stuff, when it starts to pile up and when you have to go through all of this rehab, like, if you just lose even just a little bit of whatever flexibility you have, does that affect your ability to do some of the special things that we were seeing Tre do at the beginning of last season before he got hurt? I really hope that's not the case, because I think A, Tre's a great dude, and B, it would be great for the Charlotte Hornets to have that as an asset, and for them not to have it right now and to have to play him these minutes because Brandon Miller's out is hurting the offense.
We had basically half a season of Tre Mann with the time that he shared the court with everybody else in a Hornets uniform. We had 28 games after you immediately traded for him, and then we had 13 last year. So that's 41. That's half a season. In those 41 games, Tre Mann has been good, straight up. We have a decent sample size that is before the back injury, That's before everything he had to deal with this offseason. It really took a toll on him. And Tre, in the last three, I don't think he was bad in the debut. I liked his performance fine. But in the last three, it's not been good. And when you show everybody a 3 for 15 performance, everybody's going to take notice. He hit back-to-back shots. You were hoping, okay, now he can really get going. I think it was 2 possessions in a row, maybe even 2 out of the 3 where he hit both of those shots. And still, no, there was a lot of missed shots a little bit later on. So bad Tre to start the season. I still have faith. It's 4 games, and he has plenty of time. You want to go back to Clangin?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the head of the snake, LaMelo Ball. I think we've praised his defensive effort at times. At times, it's been Stangin. But the reason I'm going Clangin is because you have to add the qualifier at times. I think LaMelo's defensive consistency has been Clangin, and it showed up big time in that game against Miami where he was just getting abused off the bounce by Jaime, by Pelle Larsson. There were just so many. Well, Pelle Larsson, really, that was more him ball watching and not paying attention, and Pelle Larsson getting behind him, and then Jaime Jaquez just ramming right through him. So it was sort of 2 different defensive issues there. But yeah, and then as the calls didn't go his way, then the frustrations mounted, and then this snowball effect that we saw many times last year started to happen, and getting caught up in that snowball is his just overall defensive awareness, defensive focus, defensive commitments. And, that had some really bad effects on the way they were able to guard, particularly in the middle, I would say like sort of the end of the first half going into the second half. And so, yeah, LaMelo's defensive consistency, definitely a Clangin for me so far.
I think consistency is the right word. I think that's actually real fair and maybe even generous for this Miami game, because in the first quarter, I tweeted out, hey, LaMelo is crazy frustrated. He's asking for a foul every time he gets to the paint. The officials aren't giving him the benefit of the doubt. You talk about putting guys in jail, get them on your hip, and then throw up a shot. He's not getting that contact called, so he's real angry, and the Heat would score a transition basket because of it. Or he would lose his guy because he wasn't paying attention. I do think there were a couple screens he fought through, and he didn't allow himself to be taken out of the play completely. So that speaks to the inconsistency in the first quarter. I think we got to a point where it's pretty consistently lacking, pretty consistently subpar.
Yeah.
And I gave him credit because he was so mad at the officials, and he did have the frustration foul, but he also was just hitting a bunch of shots. Like, it didn't take him out of the game offensively completely. He was insane. 15 points in the first quarter, hit the 4-point play. Goodness gracious, you can just go ahead and cook that much. Yeah, that's fine. If you're dealing with the frustration this way, then get mad and put it to good use. He wasn't putting it to good use after the first quarter, and outside of that 3-point deficit the Hornets brought it within in the middle of the third, it was rough. I'll ask you this too before you go a little bit more on LaMelo. What were your thoughts on Charles Lee sitting him as long as he did after what was a great first quarter?
I'm curious. Charles Lee has always presented himself as a pretty smart basketball mind. He's improved their ability to execute offensively. I think the speed adjustments have been great. We've talked about their improvements in slob and blob plays, after timeout plays. And so I just wonder if that was basketball or if that was interpersonal. I'm just curious by that. I think it obviously took him out of rhythm a little bit. So if you just want to take all of that other stuff out of it and just look at it sort of in that way, then I guess it was a bad move. But if it was to try to cool him off, then you could sort of see where he's coming from there. So I'm of 2 minds about that. But on the LaMelo defensive consistency, you said like it didn't take him out of his offensive game. It rarely does. But the thing about the reason why the defensive consistency is an issue is because when you're defensively inconsistent, defense is about everybody knowing where everybody else is going to be. Look at Oklahoma City. they operate, we call it, you hear this
Yeah.
term all the time, on a string. Everybody knows where everybody's going to be, and if you're not there, I'm going to be here, and da-da-da-da-da. And then if you do that enough, then you have a sixth sense about this thing. That's where OKC gets crazy, where guys just, it's like you're playing 7 dudes instead of 5 dudes because guys are just so quickly moving into the open space that is left by the help going somewhere else, right? So when one person is not being consistent about it, not paying attention, it has ripple effects on the rest of the way. And then there's trust issues that develop, particularly when you have a team full of rookies who are trying to adjust. The biggest adjustment that rookies have to make from college to the NBA is what? It's not offense, it's not shooting, it's defense, it's knowing where to be and when. And so when you have the veteran, the best team, the most highest paid player on your team also being inconsistent about it, that's honestly, it's almost worse than being just terrible all the time defensively, because at least then the rest of your team understands, hey, this guy's just has no idea, so I've got to be ready. It's like, no, I trusted LaMelo to pay attention to Pelle Larsson, and now all of a sudden Pelle Larsson's on the loose, and we've got to figure that out. So, it's not about asking LaMelo to be great defensively all the time. It's about asking him to be aware and engaged defensively all the time, and he wasn't that against Miami. The good news is he can fix it. He can fix it against the Magic and moving on, but he's got to fix it and keep it fixed.
Yeah. Last thing, because I asked you about the rotation, I just know Hornets Twitter was pretty frustrated with Charles Lee's not only rotation with LaMelo, taking him out, not bringing him back until midway through the second quarter. He did the same thing in the second half with Miami, and I know people were frustrated with playing Tre Mann over Colin Sexton in the fourth quarter of the Philly loss, which that certainly wasn't the right decision, looking at it in hindsight. I feel like Charles Lee, he's got a plan for LaMelo, and he wants to stick with it, because you saw pretty much the same pattern in the second half against Miami that you did in the first half, right? And it didn't matter to Charles that LaMelo was cooking in the first quarter. He took him out with about a minute left to go, just to look up. Here, I got popcorn machine up. So
he had 15 in the first quarter. I know that.
So he scored 15. He left at the 138 mark. Didn't come back until the second quarter, 6:22.
Broadcast mentions it. When the broadcast mentions it, it is kind of a thing, right?
That's right.
Because they don't tend to mention, and they didn't say it necessarily in a negative way, but it's like at the end of the game where Dell was like, LaMelo needs to sit on the bench. Like everyone knew he was hurting the team.
He was hot, and then he did the same thing, right? So he comes out of the game in the second half. In the third quarter, he comes out of the game at the 2-minute mark, right? It was the 138 mark in the first quarter, and he came back in the fourth quarter at 7 minutes, then sat early because the game was out of hand. That's Charles Lee's normal rotation for LaMelo. Now, do you want to stick with that? So LaMelo knows what he's getting, so everybody knows where their spots are. I think Steve Clifford was a big proponent of this. He liked getting guys in a rhythm and sticking with that rotation. Charles Lee, I considered more of a mad scientist. I'm not going to act like this is so crazy new. He's been doing this for the most part for LaMelo. Does it change based off of feel? It doesn't seem like it is right now, and still very early, 4 games in. I think he's tweaking with some stuff, but some people think he's tweaking, period. Why aren't you playing him? What kind of tweaking are you doing?
Well, I wonder if they're concerned about physical health, ankle, not wanting to put too much pressure too early. He's just, he had the procedures. He got to work out a lot, over the summer. So it wasn't like Brandon where it's like, oh man, he's coming in right at the end of the summer. But at the same time, you wonder if they're concerned about that. I'm just like, I'm not going to get all hot and bothered in the first 10 or 15 games over rotation decisions, because I tend to, you don't have Josh Green, you don't have Grant Williams. I tend to think that all that stuff gets shaken out. And then when you get into the, they need to position themselves for the playoffs, those games start to matter. It's just like he's been with Boston, he's been with Milwaukee. I'm just going to trust that that's going to come through until he's given an opportunity in a play-in game or in a playoff series to make the adjustment. And then he doesn't, then I'm going to start, maybe I'm going to log these things in the back of my mind right now.
Yeah, something.
But I'm not going to make those big, bold judgments about his coaching ability based on the fact that he sat LaMelo a little too long there against Miami in the fourth game.
And here we are saying experimenting. It's trial and error. Hey, there is the error part of this. So maybe it is an error and he learns from it. Maybe it's not, but he wants a larger sample size. Experimenting means trial and error, and some things are going to go right and some things are going to go poorly. Coming up next on the Locked On Hornets podcast.
Rapid fire.
Bees everywhere!
You know it. A 30-minute segment with rapid fire coming up in the Sicko Satchel. Oh, okay. Some rummaging going on in the final segment. Next, LOH. This episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. It's the most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or cross-training with your favorite instructors. This is training reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with tools that help you plan, stay motivated, and reach peak performance. I love how the Peloton IQ system offers real-time strength coaching, and it actually tracks your reps, suggests the right weights, and corrects your form, making every rep safer and smarter. The swivel screen, it's a game changer. You can go from running on the Tread Plus to strength training without missing a beat. And the personalized class recommendations, they keep you engaged, and you get workouts tailored to your vibe and energy level each week. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. More Locked On Hornets ahead. Sicko Satchel time. What you got for the people?
I do actually want to go rapid fire on some Stangin or Clangin because I don't know that I'm going to be able to get these.
I want to do it. I just don't trust that we can stick to the spirit of it, but I do want to do it.
No, I can do it. You want to go back and forth? Do you have a few in the chamber?
So
I'm just
impromptu rapid fire.
Well, let me hit a few and see
Okay.
then if you're ready to go. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
so
good.
Stangin, I'm just going to go with Sion's general.
Sion. Yeah.
I want it to be. I know it's Sion. I'm sorry.
I know you'll learn. It'll be. We did this with Duke last year. I did Sion a handful of times. It's Sion.
It's not. It's my fault. This is a me thing. I want it to be Sion, but it's Sion. Sion's general Sionness. He is just all over the place. He's got that dog in him. He is fighting defensively, and he's hitting shots. Oh my God, he's hitting shots. So he's been Stangin. I got to give a Stangin to my guy Kalkbrenner because I just have to give you this incredible stat. He is the top big when it comes to points per shot attempt according to Cleaning the Glass. 100th percentile, 181 points per shot attempt. He is at the very bottom among bigs in the NBA in usage. He is there's 0th percentile, 8.4% usage. 8.4% usage, 181 points per shot attempts. My God.
GDS, man, just straight trash. All the trash buckets. Here, dunker spot, lob.
Trash panda. He's our little trash panda. He's coming up out of the garbage can going, I got you.
By the way, can we just go ahead and call him Scion Truck? Because he's as square as the actual Scions that exist on the road. That's what he is. If you want to call him Scion James, that's fine. Except it's SCION.
Because people told me, someone told me a long time ago, you gotta call people by their name. So I respect that, and I'll just say I desperately want it to be Scion, but it is Sion.
I respect it as well. I really just wanted to go with he's as big as a truck analogy. So that's why I brought in,
his shoulders
Scion,
are
the
like
little
a
square
rock.
trucks. Yeah. Eric Collins saying that he was cut up like coleslaw. It's a great line. So good. Mac and Bone are trying to get that nickname off of the ground, calling Sion coleslaw. Yeah, I don't know. Sion did an interview with him. I don't think he liked it very much, but he did like the Eric Collins example.
That's the KD thing. We've had so many great ideas for KD, and he's just he's a sour guy. He just doesn't like them.
I'm still mad the Durantula never took off. I just love the Durantula so much. I understand it a little bit. Okay. Some Stangin stuff for me. You took the rookie stuff from me, so I'm totally with you on that. How about a surprising Stang from Salon the first couple of games of the season? I think I think we took a little bit of a dip the last couple of games, so I'll focus on the first two. But you heard Eric and Dell say it on the broadcast last night, this little stretch of basketball from Tijan, it's the best little stretch that we've seen from Tijan in his entire career. So, like, a surprising staying for Tijan Salon. You don't think so? Not the first couple games? You don't want to help him out a little bit?
I don't know if you heard my qualifier, but shooting, 120 points per shot attempt, like when he gets open and he can hit them deep and teams aren't guarding him there. So he's got an advantage and he's taking advantage of it. But God, there were so many moments in this Miami game. Like if we're going to talk about Tre Mann gunking up offensive possessions,
sure,
Tijan does the same thing too, just in those little ways where he doesn't understand when to cut, when to move, when to just get the hell out of the way. And I just see it on LaMelo Ball's face. And I love when these two are together. They're like the odd couple when they're on the floor together, because I can just see it in LaMelo's face. He's like, God, yeah, why? Just go away. Just go away. Just sit on the bench for a minute, because I'm trying to do some work here and you are getting in the way.
Final two. I'll give him the early part. I'm with you. It's the last couple games. I think the first two games, I don't think he was as bad of a decision maker in the first two games as he was the last. It wasn't great.
He hasn't forced himself off the floor, right?
No, I don't think so.
It's not great, but at the same time, it's not.
It's freaking progress. Like that's progress for him. Yeah. That's progress, which I'll take. Okay, really rapid fire. Miles Bridges, Clangin with the shooting, just not happening for him.
Miami, yeah.
Talked about, and actually it's been pretty bad.
Overall?
Yeah, it's been pretty bad overall if you look at it. And it's why I guess LaMelo said that he was playing like a B word, and no, I don't mean bum.
It seems to go half to half, right? Like some halves you get bad Miles Bridges and some halves you get good Miles Bridges.
That's fair. He's hit 6 field goals in every single game so far. No more, no less. Some of the attempts have been more or less, but he shot under 40% each of the last 3 games. He's shooting 40 on the year, and he's shooting 31.8% from 3 on 7 attempts per game. This is noteworthy because we discussed how red hot he was in the preseason. I gave you reasons as to why I thought maybe this is transferable. Making and missing shots, you never know what to do with it in the preseason, so you just kind of neglect it as real analysis. I thought there was something there because you'd be put more in a spot you typically want him to play, and maybe those shots would lend him to have that transfer. No, it's not happening. I was wrong. Stangin, Colin Sexton, point A to point B, straight line driving, and just everything else. How can you not love Colin? Goodness great. Yeah, say it again.
My favorite thing about Colin, and I'm sure people who watched him in college and watched him in Cleveland and Utah already knew this, but I did not watch him in any of those places. I mean, occasionally maybe, but not this closely. My favorite thing about Colin Sexton is that when he drives, his face looks like, you know, when you ride a roller coaster and there's a camera that they attach and everybody's like that's Colin Sexton. I'm sorry for the listeners. I just did like a crazy scream face. Yeah, the Colin coaster. I did the crazy scream face with your eyes wide open for the listeners. That's look at the replays. That's Colin's face every time. He just it's even on casual drives. It's not about him like, you know, going coast to coast. It's even on like casual drives. He just has the Colin coaster face. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I will pay the $15 for the family photo at the Colin coaster. Please and thank you. Let's hang it up in a tacky way in the living room, but it'll still be there once we come visit grandma. So yeah, the Colin coaster is great. He gives you 2 buckets a game where I just don't understand how he beats everybody down the floor where they are positioned. It's not like I can say the defense is being like egregiously lazy in getting back. It's just I don't know how he squeezes his way into some of these angles to hit a couple of layups. No, they got set. They got back, Colin. Don't go for the Oh, okay, you are just going to find a way to score in transition despite it not really being transition. All right. Awesome. Continue to do it. He's been great, and I don't know if you saw this tweet, but I feel like you would appreciate it. He came in the first game of the season, and he was pacing back and forth. He was talking to himself, and it looked like my guy in Waterboy. It looked like Waterboy hearing the voices in his head before he decks somebody. It's scary. It's a little scary. I want to make sure he's okay.
Gatorade.
That's what he was hearing. Gatorade. Utah. Don't go back to Utah, Colin.
Will Hardy.
Isaiah Collier.
I mean, he wishes he's back. I mean, I wonder if he wishes he was back in Utah now. They're off to like a crazy hot start.
I know. Sicko Satchel question. Let's get one question. No?
Hold
no time?
on, because you keep triggering things in my brain. When you said that Colin Sexton has 2 buckets like that, it made me think like, why is the Hornets offense so much better right now than it was really even when LaMelo was cooking? Because LaMelo is same. Miles Bridges, as you pointed out with the shooting, same.
Yeah.
And then Moussa Diabate, same, giving you the same kinds of contributions, maybe a little bit better when it comes to finishing in transition. There are a couple of things. But Colin Sexton and Kon Knueppel are giving you buckets that did not exist at all last season. They just are doing things that were just non-existent in the offense. And that both really with Kon, it's more the pass, but with Colin, it's going coast to coast. It's doing the things you talked about. Those simply did not exist last season. That's why they're better.
Yeah, and even Colin's passing, kind of surprising in the early
6
going.
assists against Miami.
Yeah. So, okay. Do you want to do a Sicko Satchel question?
Yeah, I have one. This is a great question. Love this question. And actually, you know what? I don't want to shortchange. I actually want to look up, oh boy, now I have to log in. It's going to be a whole thing.
Well, it's good. It's a rapid fire, so it shouldn't take any time at all.
Right. I just want to make sure, because look, when you join the Sicko Brigade, you get to, put your name in the whole, I got it. You get to put your name in the thing and you get a nickname, and I just don't want to shortchange that. And I copied it over in the rundown and I didn't have it. So here it is. This is from Jay Brown, Buzz City of the Sicko Brigade. You can join subtext.com/Locked On Hornets. Salute. We just had a new member join up with the Sicko Brigade. Shout out Len for joining up this week. Here it is from Jay Brown, Buzz City. Question from the next generation of the infected, my son Brooks of the KJ Simpson platoon. This question is from Brooks.
Jay Brown. He's the best.
Ready?
Yep.
I'm turning 8 years old on Thursday, and I want to stay until the end of the game against the Orlando Magic. When you guys were kids, did your parents leave before the game was over? My dad will usually stay till the end, but my mom is coming for this one since it's my birthday. Can you please tell her it's okay to stay until it's over, even on a school night, and that it's okay to have popcorn and Sprite during the game?
Yeah. Okay. One, the happiest of birthdays to our little sicko out there.
That's
our
right.
little larva sicko in the Hornets verse. I love it. Happiest of birthdays.
He was born
Mom,
into it. He didn't choose this.
Yeah.
He didn't choose this. He was born into it.
You're one of us, buddy. Yeah, well, I did choose this, to be honest with you. So I don't know what that says
I didn't
about
choose
me.
it chose me. When I
Yeah.
saw the glow on the TV of Glenn Rice and Vladdy Dottie, it chose me.
It was MASH and B Diddy for me. So look, Mom, okay, Mama KJ Simpson Brigade. He's got to be able to stay for the whole thing. He does need the popcorn. He does need the Sprite. He needs to have the experience of a lifetime. You only get 1/8 birthday after all, and he'll remember eating the popcorn and drinking the Sprite, watching his favorite team play, possibly getting a victory. It reminds me of my mom allowing me to stay up all the way from tip to the end of the game for the NCAA championship every single year through one shining moment. And I was so scared I was going to have to go to bed because I had a bedtime, man. These things were strict, we ain't playing around with moms, but she would always let me stay up. So go ahead, do the mom thing and say, okay, wink, wink. Here, we'll allow you to stay up past your bedtime. I think that's okay.
That's what I'm going to give Mom a lot of credit here. I think Mom understands the gravity of the situation. I think Mom has to hold the line. And I think Mom's going to wink a little bit and try but then at the end of it. So what I would tell Brooks is just stay patient. And what I would tell Mom too, if I have any advice for Mom, if she'll take it, and by the way, don't have to take it.
You don't need it. You're the queen bee.
You don't need it.
I'm
using
that too
I got to
much.
be very careful
I'm abusing
here.
that analogy. I'm sorry.
But, I think you want to not only go Sprite popcorn, I think you want to go Sprite popcorn candy. I think, Brooks, you're going to, honestly, if this is for you too, Brooks, I think you're going to want to be in sugar overdrive so that when you get home, you crash. You want to be on that downslope of the sugar high so that you crash and get a good night's sleep for school. And I'm just going to give you a little piece of advice here, Brooks. And this is from both being a parent and being remembering being a kid. When you get up in the morning after the game, if you ever want to do this again, just like really psych yourself up and be like, all right, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get in the zone. I'm going to be ready to get on the bus or get in the car, or whatever you got to do. You just want to make sure that you are an upstanding citizen the morning after. You know, what I like to do is when I go to bed, when I go to bed late and I know I have to get up in the morning, I'll lay in bed and go, you have to get up at 4. You have to get up at 4. You have to get up at 4. I just really like plan it in my brain, and it has worked forever. I get up at 4. I actually usually get up at like whatever, 10 minutes before I tell myself. My body is just sort of like in that mode, and then I'm bango ready to go. So there's some advice for Brooks. I'm not even going to call it advice for mom. I'm just saying sugar overdrive, get the crash going in the car even, there you go. But hopefully, Brooks, thank you for being a sicko. Thanks to Jay Brown Bus City. Thanks to Mom, most importantly. And I hope you get to stay up late for the game. I hope it's a game that you actually. I
hope it is. Come on, do it for Brooks.
Come on,
do it for Brooks. Shout out to Brooks. Happy birthday, my man. That'll do it for Locked On Hornets. Thanks for making us your first listen. We're free and available anywhere you get your pods. That includes YouTube. There's Doug Branson. EveryHornetsBoxScore.com is his Substack. Also, check out the show he helps produce, Yahoo Sports Daily, with Jason Fitz and Caroline Fenton. I'm Walker Mehl. Listen to me, WFNZ, every weekday from 12 to 3 p.m. Sports Radio 92.7 FM. Have a great rest of your day. We'll be back with you tomorrow.